In this video, I give you a step-by-step demonstration on how to download and install a Bitnami Joomla server stack. Browse to the Bitnami website here at bitnami.com and look for the Joomla Launch Now or Download button. If you don't see this button here, look in the Applications area and scroll through the various applications until you find Joomla. Click on the icon, and you want to do a local install for your operating system. If you're on the Mac like I am here, you'll want to download the Mac version. If you're on Windows, you'll want to download the Windows version. Here, under the local install heading, I'm going to click on the Bitnami Joomla 3.3.6, which was the latest version at the time of this recording. No need to log in, so just go ahead and skip that and say no thanks, just take me to the download. Go ahead and save the file. And if your app doesn't automatically download, you can go ahead and click on the Click Here link to get the download started. Once the installer file is finished downloading, locate the file on your computer and simply double-click it to launch it. I've downloaded it here to my Downloads folder. I have a DMG file, which is for Macintoshes. Windows machines will have an exe file if you've downloaded the correct installer. Provide any permissions your system needs to run this installer, and that'll take you to this screen, the Joomla Intro screen. Simply double-click on the icon to launch it. That'll bring up the Bitnami welcome screen here. And then select the installation language. English is default, but if you open the drop-down menu, there's a number of languages that you can install this with. Click OK. That'll bring you to the Setup dialog. Welcome to the Bitnami Joomla Stack Setup Wizard. Click on Next. Now you select your components that you want to install. In this case, you want to install Joomla. You also definitely want to install the sample data. I'm going to be using the sample data as demo, so you'll want the same data so that your screens match mine. And you want your phpMyAdmin to manage your databases. Make sure that all three are checked, then click on the Next button. Here, choose a folder where you want to install your Bitnami Joomla stack. By default, if you're on a Mac, this will install to the Applications folder. On Windows machines, this will default to the C drive. I'm going to choose the default. I'm used to having my Bitnami server stacks in my Applications folder. Notice that the version of Joomla that I'm installing is here. At the time of this recording, Joomla 3.3.6 was the latest. So choose your destination and then click on the Next button. Go ahead and enter your name and email address. Login and password are the most important information here. This is going to be the login for your backend to your installed Joomla site. And then the password, you want to write these down. You're going to get some other passwords later. You don't want to confuse those with your admin login and password. The real name and email address is not that critical. So I've entered in a login name, written that down, added a password, and then confirmed my password and also wrote that down. Once you've done this, click on the Next button. By the way, you can't have any spaces or uppercase letters in your admin name. Go ahead and add a site name. I'm going to use the name Learn Joomla, so you might want to enter that if you want your screens to match mine. And once you've entered in your site name, click on the Next button. Now you need to configure your SMTP settings. This is required so your application can send notifications via email. We don't need to set this up because we're doing this on a local computer. But normally if you were doing this on a server, on a hosted server, you'd want to check this and then go ahead and set up your email settings. For now, go ahead and just skip this by clicking on the Next button. This takes you to the Bitnami advertisement. They're offering cloud hosting. If you want to learn more about their cloud hosting, leave this checked. I'm going to uncheck it and click on the Next button. That takes you to the final setup screen. Setup is now ready to begin installing your Bitnami Joomla stack on your computer. Go ahead and click Next, and that'll take you through the install. You can read through the presentation screens here if you wish. First, it's going to unpack the files. Although pretty long, this installation process is pretty straightforward and you shouldn't have any problems. But if you do run into issues or get errors or something doesn't work as I'm showing you here, skip to the last video of this installation sequence where I give you some techniques and some solutions for moving forward. Sometimes during this stage of the installation, you may get a security alert. Sometimes there will be a warning about firewalls blocking features of your app. If you get something like this, go ahead and put a check in the private networks option. And click the Allow Access button If your warning looks something different, go ahead and just give your computer permission to finish running the installation. After finish unpacking the files, it'll initialize your MySQL database, and it warns you here this could take a couple of minutes, so be patient. Then it's going to go ahead and create the uninstaller, and when the installation is complete, you'll get this screen. Setup has finished installing Bitnami Joomla Stack on your computer. Go ahead and leave a check in the Launch Bitnami Joomla Stack option and click on the Finish button. This will launch your newly installed localhost server and load the Bitnami welcome screen into your default browser. In this case, it's my Chrome browser. The process now is to test that the installation of the server and Joomla went okay by visiting both the back end and the front end of your Joomla website. Let's pick up this part of the installation process in the next video.